Hello, my friends. My name is Adam, and I'm on a mission to be the most prolific reviewer of all time. I need to review about 15,000 things. So, books, movies, podcasts, plays, whatever. Mostly I review movies and shows and books. Today I'm reviewing the movie Dune 2. Last week, I reviewed the first part of the movie, and the first part of the movie I did not like at all. I thought that it was too long, too boring, and didn't take any creative chances. And it's especially bad when you compare it to the 1984 movie version of Dune that came out, which was so over the top that it's a cult classic now. So, my creaky chair has a lot of things to say about it, but I do too. Dune 2 is better because the story has moved along more, and some of the themes of the story are like front and center. And the main theme of the story is about fanaticism and how people actually become fanatics, right? And basically the hero of the story, although he's not necessarily a hero, is played by Timothy Chalamet, and his name is Paul Atreides. His father has been murdered by the House Harkonnen on command of the Emperor, and the Emperor is doing it because of an order of women called the Bene Gesserit. And Paul's mother is also a member of the Bene Gesserit because what they want to do is they are have this long program of breeding, which is also not directly mentioned in the movie. But they have a long program of breeding, and what they are trying to do is they're trying to create an individual called, I forgot what the title is. It's very, very obscure, but it's basically like their version of the Messiah. And on the desert planet of Arrakis, they this Bene Gesserit order has also gone around and through the centuries has promoted this idea that there will be a Messiah and he will lead these people to freedom. And probably on other planets, they've been doing the same thing because they have plans within plans within plans. So basically, if a Messiah arises on Arrakis, great. But if a Messiah arises on Caladan, also great. Because they're in control of the Messiah, basically. And Paul, he doesn't want to be this Messiah, but eventually he realizes that if he takes the mantle of the Messiah, he will be able to defeat his enemies. And the movie ends basically with him sort of proposing a diplomatic alliance with the daughter of the current emperor and saying that he should be the emperor, and the great houses in this, so the universe is divided into great houses in the world of Dune. They don't agree with this, and what happens in the next book that this is based on, called Dune Messiah, is that this triggers a holy war, and the about 4 billion people are killed during this holy war. But Paul feels that it was better that that happened than the alternative, which is, I don't know what the alternative to a holy war would be, like a lack of holy war. Um, yeah, so I think that it's interesting because they are going to make another movie, and the other movie is going to be based on Dune Messiah. So this is kind of like Paul's transition from hero to villain, kind of. But the thing about Dune Messiah is that Paul is still the hero, right? He is like this emperor and he controls the universe, and people are trying to overthrow him, but he's still the hero. And I don't know how they are going to present that to a modern audience, because in this movie they've made this whole thing like, the southerners on Arrakis are fanatics and they don't know anything, and you need to be like anti-religion basically, because forgot what her name is, but the character played by Zendaya is the love interest of Paul Atreides, and she is basically like, this Messiah thing doesn't work, and you know that's the end of it. And there's like a prophecy that this Messiah, I forgot what they call him in the Dune world, but basically he'll like make the trees come back to the desert and the world will be green again. Because this is what the Bene Gesserit have said. But in the original 1984 movie, the ending is that it starts raining, so the desert will grow. And it hasn't rained on Dune ever. So I'm not sure how that would happen exactly. Um, but so I wonder if that's part of the actual story that they pushed together in the 1984 version, because the 1984 version is at least accurate to the story that happens in this version. So maybe it will happen in sometime in the next movie. I don't know. So I did like the fact that the mythology of the El Mahdi, I guess they call him, is like more detailed, and you can see why people would believe in him, and you can see why people wouldn't want to believe in him, and you can kind of see the internal conflict that Paul has, because in his opinion, this is all kind of like a scam that's been perpetrated on these people, but he's been genetically bred to be this person as well. And so Dune is like this weird combination of magic and technology. So it's not exactly sci-fi. I would say it's more like Star Wars than anything. Um, yeah. So it's better than the first movie, but I would say it's still not great because it's too long, and again, they declared war against color and they lost. There's even this ridiculous thing in the Harkonnen world. These are all human beings, by the way. So the universe of Dune is one where people have spread out all over the universe and they control all of the universe. And so each house has their own planet that they're responsible for. So Atreides has Caladan, and the Emperor has another planet, and Arrakis is this desert planet that provides spice, which is necessary for space travel. And so the Harkonnen planet, I forgot what it's called, but they have a planet, and it's all black, all dark, everything is black. And so Baron Harkonnen is giving a birthday party for his nephew Freyd, and Freyd is like a psychopath, but so there's like this gladiatorial combat or whatever, and Freyd kills three guys, but there are fireworks, right, to celebrate the guy's birthday. And so these are people who can travel through space. What color do you think the fireworks are on this planet that is all black and white? And literally, when they're filming scenes on the planet, people are in black and white, like crazy. But so, yeah, it's white. The fireworks are white. So I kind of get where they were going. Like, oh, it's so stylized. They don't like any other colors. It's just black and white. But they go on other planets, right? The Harkonnens. The Harkonnens visit other planets. They talk to other people. So you would think they'd have some influence by them. They'd be like, hey, there's more than two colors in the universe, you know. And also in the when people are out in the desert and they're being like guerrilla warriors, it kind of makes sense that they would have all of these different, you know, different like camouflage basically. But there are scenes where they're inside their homes and they're wearing like kind of traditional sort of uh, desert garb from Earth, which is also kind of ridiculous because they don't live on Earth. But, you know, look at traditional garb from the deserts in on Earth and tell me how many different colors you can see. You can see a lot of colors, right? Sometimes black, sometimes blue, sometimes purple, whatever. So, and the way of women covering themselves is completely different according to culture, but it's not all and only black, you know, or brown. And well, that's the thing too. So they had scenes of like thousands of people in this big hall that's underground, and women have all of these coverings, right? And they have like patterns and stuff, but it just looks so faded, right? So I don't know. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. One thing that was better was like the audio did seem to be a bit better edited. So yeah, I can see why people would prefer this movie to the first one, but yeah, it's still not good because they don't do anything excessive. Everything is um, done in a normal sort of way, and I wonder about that. I really wonder if I also wonder if this thing where Chandy, I think her name is, the character of Chandy, if she is actually so anti Paul becoming the Messiah, or they just added that for this particular interpretation of the movie. Because on the one hand, it could be that she is, because the first movie they had to condense a lot of stuff and that's not in there, but basically the love plot is like, hey, love you, okay, right. So that might not be there, and they had a lot more time to dwell on that character in this movie. So it could be, or it might just be that they're trying to make this more palatable to modern audiences, and I think that's a mistake because you need to present the story in a way that makes sense to the story itself, if that makes any sense. All right, I've been rambling too much about this movie. I would give it maybe a 6 out of 10, but what did you think? Please put your views in the comment section down below because that's where they belong. Please like and subscribe. Also, I have a Patreon, so if you want to be a lord or a lady, you can join my Patreon, like a fake lord or lady, to be clear. Not a real one, but you can have the title of a lord or a lady if you join the Patreon, and the link will be in the description. Thank you. Bye-bye.